Here's a zoomed-in view of what the Earth and Moon's orbits actually look like, exactly to scale, though the Earth and Moon are not to scale. It does look a lot like the Earth and Moon are orbiting the Sun independently but side by side, just nudging each other in and out as they go. In order to start having a wobble, the Moon would need to orbit about twice as fast as it does, but at the same distance, or be twice as far from the Earth, and still orbit once per month. Or the Earth would need to be half as far from the Sun, and still orbit once per year. In order to start spiraling, the Moon would need to orbit about 30 times faster at the same distance, or be 30 times farther from the Earth, and still orbit once per month. But in the real universe, orbital speed and distance can't be adjusted independently. The farther out an object is, the longer it takes to complete an orbit. It turns out the speed matters more, so the Moon would have to come closer to Earth where it could orbit faster in order to have a wobbly orbit, one that even curves at all outwards away from the Sun. There's a good reason the Moon's orbit never curves outwards away from the Sun. Due to the distances between the Earth, Moon, and Sun, and their masses, it turns out the Sun pulls on the Moon with almost twice the force that the Earth pulls on the Moon. Technically speaking, the Moon is outside of the Earth's Chebotarev radius, where the pull from the Earth and Sun are equivalent. That means the net force on the Moon is always towards the Sun, and that's why the Moon's trajectory never curves outwards towards the Earth. There's never a net force that would pull it that way. The force on the Moon is always pointing inwards and just gets stronger or weaker over time, depending on whether the Earth is pulling together with the Sun, or sideways, or against the Sun. According to net forces, the Moon is primarily orbiting the Sun, with perturbations from the Earth. Except we shouldn't be using net forces, because the Earth and Moon are moving in a circle around the Sun, so we need to take into account centrifugal effects. Those effects weaken the Sun's relative pull enough that the Earth's pull on the Moon is stronger. Technically speaking, we say the Moon is inside the Earth's Hill radius, or Hill sphere, the zone where, for practical purposes, for objects orbiting along with the Earth's gravitation dominates the Sun's. According to the Hill radius, the Moon orbits the Earth. Though technically speaking, the Moon doesn't orbit the Earth.